Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. Now for today's video, because we are nearing the end of the month, I know this year, this month and everything is just flying by. I think we're all on the same page. We all think that it's a little too quick that we're already done with 6 months of this year. But because we are ending June, I wanted to share my empties with you all, everything that I used up in June. And I just have to start off by saying I do not have as much makeup as I generally do because I'm on the cusp of emptying out so many things and I don't want to just put in extra uses just to empty it out because that's not what empties are supposed to be. Empties are supposed to be a true reflection of what you're generally using up and how much time will it take to actually use those things as well. So I have mostly skincare, hair care and body care in this video, but I love empties video. It's just so satisfying to see you use up something fully and just get to know that product properly and have an actual review. So yes, without any further ado, if you want to know what all did I empty out and my mini little tiny reviews on all of the products, then please keep on watching. Let's start off with some hair care empties and I have a couple of them to share with you guys. But the surprising thing is that I only have conditioners and masks in here. I have absolutely no shampoo. It was kind of perplexing at first to me because if I'm using so much conditioner and mask, I should be ideally also using shampoo. But then I realized that I have much humongous bottles of shampoos in my washroom right now, and also the fact that I am slightly a heavy user of conditioner and mask because my hair is super dry, so I like to really slap some on there, and I really like to nourish my hair, so I tend to go overboard with my application. But with that being said, let's move on. The first empty I have comes from Anomaly. This is their smoothing conditioner. Now I have a full review on Anomaly products. I did try all of them out and I shared my opinions with you guys. These weren't my most favorite. The only way that I was able to use this up was that I was pairing it with a hair mask as well. Now generally if I'm using a conditioner, I don't go with a hair mask, and if I'm using a hair mask, I skip out on a conditioner. I don't do both of them just because I feel like they should be doing their job in their own ways. But with this one, I was pairing it up with a hair mask because I feel like it needed that kind of extra moisturization in there. This was an okay conditioner. If you're someone who has oily hair or oily scalp and you just want something that's super lightweight that won't weigh your hair down, then maybe you can look at it. For someone like me who has dry hair, dry scalp, it wasn't enough. It just didn't feel enough moisturizing. So that's the first thing. The second conditioner empty I have for you comes from Tresemme. This is their Bond Replex Repair 6% bonding complex. A lot of things to go through, but basically this is from the Tresemme Bond Repair range. Now I really like that range. I've talked about the hair oil, I've also talked about the shampoo over on my Insta stories if I'm not mistaken, but even the conditioner, it's a really nice conditioner. Now I'm using the shampoo from this particular range in the 400 ml variant, and this is a 190 ml variant. I think that's a 400 or a 600 ml. The hugest bottle is what I'm currently using, but I did finish this one up. I really enjoyed it. It's super moisturizing. Now as far as it goes for like bond repairing, I'm not too sure how well this conditioner was working to like fix my hair up, but it was a nice conditioning conditioner. It felt emollient enough. It felt like it was really making my hair softer and appear much more frizz free. So that's a yay from my side. I really enjoyed this one. Then I have a hair mask that I was using in conjunction with the Anomaly one. This is the Dot and Key Pea Peptide Strengthening Moringa and Argan hair mask. Now this is the most strengthening hair mask. It's not the most moisturizing hair mask. It does make your hair feel much more stronger because it just, I mean, it's also placebo. Honestly, with me, a lot of time placebo works. But this is a good hair mask. It's not super moisturizing again, so it's great for people who don't want their hair to be weighed down because of like an extra moisturizing hair mask. So I was using the Anomaly shampoo and this together because both of these together just gave my hair a little bit of extra moisture than they would separately. So this is a good hair mask. I like it. It's great for a lightweight hair mask journey. I personally love like heavy hair masks that are like really moisturizing, but even this is a good one. Great for summer especially because in summertime your hair gets weighed down like that. Also because I work out about like 4 to 5 times a week, I'm perpetually oily on my scalp these days, so I also prefer something that's lightweight so I can like keep on reapplying it every other time I'm washing my hair. But then I have another hair mask that I wasn't the hugest fan of. This is the Nykaa Naturals Rosemary and Naturally Derived Niacinamide Rinse of Hair Mask. This is for hair growth. Now I have kind of I won't say love-hate relationship. I don't really understand my relationship with this hair mask because this didn't really moisturize my hair and I didn't even see hair growth. And generally speaking, hair masks for me are personally something I would apply more heavily towards my mid-lengths and ends and not more so on my scalp because this is going to be the last step of my routine. If I'm doing like a oil hair mask, that's going to be like a first step for my routine. I generally like to mix like hair oils and conditioners and apply a mask like all over my hair before I'm shampooing. But this is a rinse off mask. This is the last step of your routine and I didn't really see any difference. Plus it didn't really do anything for my hair. I actually felt like it was drying my hair out a little bit because maybe of the rosemary in there. I don't really know, but didn't really enjoy this. It wasn't my most favorite. Now, the last hair empty that I have for you guys comes from Minimalist. This is their Maleic Bond Repair Complex 0.5% Maleic Bond in here. Now, I really like the Maleic Bond range from Minimalist, but I feel like this has to be my least favorite in that range. That's not to say that this is a bad product. It's still a good product, but I love their hair serum, which is also like their mask or something you can say call as a treatment. And I also like the shampoo, which I have previously emptied up, and this time it's the conditioner that I've emptied up. So I've completely used the whole range in totality as well. But this has to be my least favorite product from the range. It's not a bad product. It's a great conditioner. It's lightweight. It's not a heavy conditioner. It actually just really makes sure that your hair is softer and just it just feels much more manageable in my personal opinion. But yeah, if you're looking for again like a heavyweight conditioner, it's not one of those. It's a lightweight yet moisturizing conditioner. It's a good conditioner. You can definitely go for it. I know there would be questions, which one do I prefer? Both of them do work slightly similarly in a way that they moisturize your hair without weighing them down, so you can go for either or depending on your preference. Let's move on to some body care and fragrances now, and I have so many fragrance empties to share with you guys. You're gonna absolutely love it. But first, let's start with some body care, and I have this body wash by Arata with me right here. This is their nourishing, calming and rejuvenating variant. Now, this is supposed to have a cherry blossom fragrance. However, I didn't really smell any cherry blossom in there. Now, when we talk about the texture of this one, it is like a gel based consistency, so it's perfect for everyday use. It doesn't strip your skin down. It's not supremely moisturizing. It lies somewhere in between, perfect for everybody and every day. But let's get back to the fragrance now. Because this is a very mild fragrance, it's great for people who get nauseated due to heavy fragrances. Personally, for me, I love an experiential. I love to be transported somewhere or just, be enticed by a fragrance. So this wasn't my most favorite when it came to the fragrance. But again, if you're like a neutral fragrance lover, if you're someone who just wants something that's not super heavy, like super indulgent, then you're definitely gonna like this one. So I finished that one off. Then I have my Plum Body Lovin' Body Oil. This is in the variant Vanilla Vibes. And I know what you must be thinking. Shreya, you finished a body oil in summertime? That's crazy. But that's not how it went. I mostly finished this during the winter season. And then there was a tiny bit left. And I used it during nighttime after having a night shower or something. Because previously we were having like about 50 degrees here in Delhi. And I wanted to take shower literally in every 2 hours. That wasn't possible. So I was doing 2 showers a day. And nighttime is the perfect time to apply oil. Just let it soak up in your skin. And you don't have to go around feeling greasy or heavy. And also because we sleep in AC conditions, this is a great thing to do for your skin. I love this fragrance so much. Vanilla Vibes is so good. It's just so good. You guys know I love Plum Body Lovin' so much. I've emptied so many of their things out, and this is just one of them. The oil doesn't feel supremely heavy. Of course, it's moisturizing, but it doesn't feel heavy to the point where you feel like cloggy and icky and sticky and all of those things. I would, however, still recommend if you want to use it during daytime, winters is the time for this. For summers, you need something like Vaseline Light Hydrate, which is something I finished up. This is a beautiful body lotion. It's not heavy at all. It's very lightweight. It's almost like a hybrid between a moisturizer and a gel. It's not fully gel, but it's not fully moisturizer. Somewhere in between. Beautiful body lotion. I did do a paid partnership with them as well, but this obviously is a testament of how much I genuinely enjoyed this one. So I finished that up. I also finished up some deodorants, but now we're moving on to fragrance. So let's just first talk about some deos. I have my Nivea Pearl and Beauty Deo Roll-On. This has been a favorite of mine since a while now. I love it for my shave days because this does not sting even if you've shaved, waxed, epilated or anything. And this is just a nice deodorant that won't make you smell bad at all. So this is something I finished. Highly recommend. I have like about 5-6 of these already in my vanity ready for me to use whenever I need them, and this is a great product to have, especially if you don't want to smell bad during summer season. But if you're someone who is on the lookout for something that's more natural, more better, not Nivea for some reason, then you can also look at Earth Rhythms deodorant. I've talked about them a couple of times. This is their brightening and exfoliating variant, and even though this is an exfoliating variant, it does not sting on shave days, which is so great. Now I fully finished it up. I scooped every little bit of that up because I love it. I also love the fragrance. They have another fragrance which is more manly, even though fragrances are unisex, but you know what I mean. It's more manly, it's more fresh, more all of those things, while this is more citrusy, more just zingy and all of that. So I really, really enjoyed this. Again, I've talked about this multiple times and I absolutely loved using this. Highly recommend. But now we are moving on to full on fragrances. The first thing I finished, another Vanilla Vibes bottle. I have finished so many of these up and this just smells so good. Every single time I apply this, it feels like I've just walked out of a bakery where I was baking. I was having my rom-com moment where I'm like a baker in a small town cooking up Christmas cookies and whatnot. This is just so good. I really like it. If you're more of a deeper vanilla person, then you can also check out Smoke and Vanilla. Beautiful fragrance. I finished the minis of that one up as well. Then I have two minis from Wearified. One is Influence and the other is June. Now, Influence wasn't my most favorite fragrance. It's more like manly, more aftershavey. So it wasn't my most favorite, but June was beautiful. I got so many compliments whenever I wore this. It is more vanilla and spice based. Like it is a spicy vanilla fragrance. Beautiful fragrance to have. But the only issue I had with this one was because it had a color to it. I think you can see it in here as well. It did stain some of my white clothes. So that was the only issue I had. Now, of course, you can always spritz it just on the skin. I just like to spritz it on the skin, on my clothes, on my hair, just in the air and walk through it. I'm that kind of a person. So this did stain a couple of my clothes. Then I learned my lesson and I did not apply it on my clothes. So I'm just going to warn you for that. So I have that. Then I have Sacred Love by Ajmal. Now I have a funny story for you guys. Now I always thought Ajmal is like an indie-ish brand, like a very normal brand, because I came across Ajmal a couple of years ago, I think about 2015-16, when I went to Bombay for the first time and Ajmal was just there, and I thought this is like a normal brand because it's not priced too crazily. And this was a gift. So it's a nice fragrance, and I was using this during December and I went to Almaty during December and I went to this store which was like this really huge store. It was a French store with like just shit expensive stuff, and there's this niche perfumery category over there, and from like a distance I saw a packaging like a product and I was like, that looks very similar. I walked up and it was this perfume. Ajmal was in Almaty in the new niche perfumery sector and I was like, what? When did that happen? Because maybe I missed out on it. But yeah, Ajmal is apparently a big deal. But this, coming back to this is Sacred Love Amour. It's a nice fragrance. It's much more deeper. It has oud, a lot of oud in there. So if you're not a fan of oud, I wouldn't recommend. I love oud. I love OPMs. Those are like the notes that I totally would go for. So I really liked it. It's really long lasting as well. So I finished that one up. And the last fragrance empty I have for you guys comes from Oriflame. This is something I've had honestly for eons. This is the Body and Mind Nighttime Sweet Dreams Mist. Now, I bought this back in the day because I've always struggled with sleep. I've always struggled with sleep as long as I've known sleep to exist. Okay, so I bought this because they say that you can apply it on your pillow, apply it on yourself, and you're gonna have a beautiful night's sleep. Didn't work for me that way, so I was just like, I'm just gonna keep it, and then it was in my vanity for I don't even know how long. Now this was manufactured in 2009. This is, I'm not even like kidding you, 09. I hope you can see that. But yeah, this year I am on this journey of clearing out the body mists that I've picked up, and I wear them before I work out, or if I'm going out for a workout. I generally work out at home and I also go out, so I do it like every single day. So I was able to finish this one up. I've been able to finish a lot of my mists up because of that reason. I'm using my mists up that way. Perfumes are more like when I'm going out, and mists are more for I'm working out. So I've tried to like create those segments so that I can actually use up multiple things in one go. So that's how I'm using so many different things. But this was okay. It didn't really give me a nighttime sleep, and I used it in the morning anyway. So yeah, I don't even know if this is available any longer. I don't know why this is something that's so important for me to like give you such a backstory on. I'm in a chitty chatty mood if you can't already tell. But yeah, those were all of the fragrances that I emptied out. The next few categories that we're going to be talking about are going to be makeup removers, face washes, and scrubs. And honestly, it's kind of mind-boggling how many empties I have in here. But I did have usage on some of them, so it kind of makes sense. Kind of. Still pretty crazy, not gonna lie. So let's start off with some makeup removers. I have both of them from Pond's. The first one being something that's not really available in India. This is their cold cream cleansing balm, and I don't know why Pond's has the most mediocre launches here in India, but you take one flight to Southeast Asian countries and you get the most amazing products. So I really hope that they launch this in India as well, because I wiped this one clean, like completely clean. It's a very soft cleansing balm, so you don't have to melt it too hard, you don't have to rub it in too hard, and it removes your makeup pretty effectively. So I really enjoyed this one. So I'm hoping that they launch this in India pretty soon. The second Pond's makeup remover empty I have is their vitamin micellar water. It's pretty affordable, works really well, so it's great for people who wear lightweight makeup, or even if you don't wear makeup and you just want something to double cleanse your sunscreen off, you can definitely use this one. I really enjoyed using this one. The other counterparts to this would definitely be the Garnier micellar water, simple micellar water, and they all work pretty similarly. I feel like affordable micellar waters are pretty similar. They're like a set formula with like different brands almost. So yeah, good micellar water, affordable one. You can definitely grab this one. Now I have some face washes to share with you guys. The first one I have comes from Dermina. I did cut the top out because I'm just like that. But the breaking, actually, yeah, no. This wasn't due to like me trying to cleanse this one off. The packaging actually broke, and the cap is not there, as you can see. And the part where it's supposed to be the stopper is inside now, so I couldn't really access it. So yeah, that's why I had to cut it out to like remove this. And I finished the remove product as well. This is their Fight and Fade Acne face wash. It has glycolic acid, salicylic acid, it's pH balance, whatnot. I didn't really see a difference in it trying to like fade out my pigmentation, and that's my issue with a lot of active based face washes. The amount of time you have them on your skin for isn't really the most effective time period. It's not long enough for any ingredient to actually work on your skin. Something like a serum, a moisturizer, toner is a much better way to approach ingredients like that. This was a gel based face wash which did have like beads in there. Like, I hope you can see that there are these charcoaly beads in here that did burst. It was an okay face wash, wasn't my most favorite thing out there in the world. Pretty okay. Then I have my Pond's Skin Fit Cool Down Scrub Face Wash. Now this was a hybrid between a face wash and a scrub, and I just realized how much Pond's I have in here. Not planned at all. Now, I wasn't the biggest fan of this range altogether, the Skin Fit range, because they had things for the gym particularly, or like post workout and all of that. And I did have like not this particular product, but they had like pre-workout products. This is a post-workout product, which I do kind of get. Like this has a little bit of cooling sensation in there, and once you're like hot and heavy after a workout, this really feels good on the skin. But yeah, this is not for everyday wear or everyday usage, because this does have like scrubbing particles in there, so that can be a little too abrasive on the skin. It was an okay face wash, again not my most favorite thing out there, just okay. The last face wash that I emptied up comes from Clean and Clear. This is their Morning Energy Lemon Fresh. And you know what, I see a lot of people going on and talking about like how influencers would recommend something that's worth rupees 50 but use something that's worth rupees 5,000. This is the testimony that I genuinely do not care about price tags, but I would use something if I genuinely like it. And I know Clean and Clear doesn't work out for everyone, but I've always been a Clean and Clear fan. I've reviewed them on my channel so many times. I've talked about them about, I think, endless amount of times. I don't even know how many videos I have on Clean and Clear ka review, but yeah, this worked for me. It didn't really dry my skin down, and even if it did in summer times, it didn't really feel that way because of how hot it was. And honestly, I don't really let my skin completely dry out once I wash it. Like, once I wash it, it's still damp when I'm doing my skincare, so I've never like realized it drying my skin out. However, if your skin is super sensitive and you do not like this, you can always stay away from it. You don't need to buy it. I know Clean and Clear has its own fair share of controversies as well, so I'm gonna stay away from that. I'm just gonna tell you that it did work for me. It doesn't work for everyone, and that's completely fine. That's what skincare is. Alrighty, moving on. I have a couple of scrubs that I want to talk to you about. We first have Estee Lauder Revitalizing Supreme Plus Global Anti-Aging Instant refinishing facial. That took me too long to talk, and oh my god, what's happening? I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm glitching again. You know, with Empties video, I glitch super common. That's a super common thing for me to do. But this was a nice scrub. It did have walnuts or apricots, if I am not mistaken, so I didn't use it every day. I can't see the ingredients on here. I think it was on the box or something, but it was slightly more abrasive than your general gentle exfoliator, so I didn't use it every day. I use it like once a week, and I use it with a very light hand, only on my nose, because my nose is like a blackhead mine. So yeah, I don't think I would be paying that much for a scrub like this, honestly. But then again, I know people who do crazy stuff and buy crazy things. So maybe you're one of them. I am not. I am not. Even if I'm paying for something like for ANR, I don't mind paying that much. But for a product like this, I'm not sure. And the last product, the last scrub that I have for you guys comes from 6 a.m. Glow, and this was a beautiful scrub. This is their Alt Command Slay Exfoliate plus Brighten. This was such a nice scrub. Again, I completely wiped this one off. Wiped this off. This is so beautiful. It's a gel based scrub, and it has like a physical part and a chemical part to it, because they do have pumpkin fruit extract in there, which is a beautiful natural chemical exfoliant. So what you can do is you can just scrub it physically first like that, and then let it stay on your skin for it to chemically work on your skin as well. This was so good. Highly, highly, highly recommend if you're someone who loves a little bit of physical exfoliation and you miss that scrubbing part of it, but you also want something to work on a deeper level. That's going to be your chemical exfoliation. So this is a beautiful product. Highly recommend. Like, honestly, I can't recommend this enough. Let's talk about some serums now, and about 3 of them to share with you guys. The first one can be called as a toner, but honestly, it worked on my skin like a serum. I have my CosRx 2-in-1 Poreless Bar Liquid, and oh my god, the way this smoothened out my skin like no one's business, so good. I cannot recommend this enough. If you're someone who has a little bit of texture, some clogged pores, some blackheads, you need this in your life. I couldn't put this down. It smoothened out my skin. It just made me look so radiant and glowy. I absolutely loved using this. I also used it as a spot corrector if I had a little bit of pimple coming around or some texture only in some other areas. This was so good. I cannot recommend this enough. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful product. The second serum is another serum that I've highly recommended for a while now, and if you followed any of my Empties video, you can probably guess it. It is my Estee Lauder ANR, my trusted, my loved, my beloved almost. I don't even know which bottle number I'm on. I've lost track. I've lost all counts. Now, I know this is a very polarizing product. I've always said this. Some people love it. Some people hate it. Some people think it does absolutely nothing. For me, I freaking love it. It smoothens out my skin. It makes it look much more plump and youthful and all of the good things that you want your skincare to do. So I'm not going to talk much more about it because I've talked about it at length in so many of my videos. The last serum, however, that I finished out comes from Acne Squad. This is their Breakout Terminator Serum. This has thymol TSNs and salicylic acid. Now, I enjoyed using this. Now, because this has salicylic acid in there, it also smoothens out your skin. And I wasn't using all of these together, okay? So don't think I was doing that. They've been used at different points of time. But this one has a fragrance that smells very ajwainy to me for some reason. It just smells like it's made out of ajwain. I really liked it. However, it's a great serum if you're looking for something that would smoothen out your skin. I didn't really see it killing my breakouts because it's called Breakout Terminator. I use it more like a preventative step so I don't get breakouts, not as a step to kill the breakouts that I already have. I hope that makes kind of sense. This smoothens out your skin. It makes sure that your skin won't get newer breakouts because of salicylic acid and thymol TSNs present in there, which are more like beautiful exfoliators that make sure your pores aren't getting clogged and you're not getting pimples because of clogged pores. So don't think of it like a breakout terminator, but breakout preventer. Arguably, I have the largest category now, which is going to be moisturizers. I went ham on moisturizers, you guys. I was bathing 2 times a day. I was washing my face in the middle of the day. And then again, I already had usage on some of these, so it makes absolutely sense that I have so many moisturizer empties. But let's get done with this category because I know you're going to be really bored of how many times I'm going to say the word moisturizer. So take water shots whenever I say moisturizer so your skin can be moisturized from within as well. Alrighty, let's start with the first one. I have the Benefit Professional Smooth Sip Lightweight Moisturizer. This was a gel-based moisturizer. I finished it relatively quickly. It smells really nice and fresh because of the tiny size of the tub is why I finished it quickly. Now, this was an okay moisturizer. I didn't really see it smoothening out my skin. It says it's a smoothening moisturizer. I'm not the hugest fan of Benefit skincare that they've come out with. It feels very okayish to me. There's nothing miraculous in it. It's very, very okay. So I can't justify the price tag that they have. So if you find it on like a 50% or a 60% off, then maybe you can check it out. But other than that, not the hugest fan. It was an okay moisturizer, and because it was gel based, I was able to use it because of the weather that we are in right now. Another gel-based moisturizer I finished was my Clinique Moisture Surge. Again, I've lost the track of how many moisture surges I've finished up. This is the OG gel-based moisturizer, the OG product. I love this one so much. It's moisturizing, it's hydrating, doesn't feel heavy or icky on the skin whatsoever, has no fragrance in there. So great for everyone. If you're someone who is sensitive to fragrances, then you're gonna absolutely love it. So finished that one up. Then I finished this moisturizer by Listen Skincare. This is their Absolute Harmony Moisturizing Gel Cream. Another gel-based moisturizer. I think you can see, kind of theme building up right here. So again, this is something I wiped clean completely. This is done and dusted. This has a little bit of fragrance in there. It smells like how a moisturizer smells. You know, that generic moisturizer fragrance. That's what's in here. And I finished this up one again relatively quickly because this seems like a big jar, but from the inside it's slightly more smaller. There's an illusion of the size. And again, I have been using a lot of moisturizers. As I said, this was a new product. It didn't have any previous usage as such. I did enjoy it. Basic gel based moisturizer, good for the skin. That's how I used it up. Then I have my Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair eye cream. Now I know you must be thinking, eye cream and a moisturizer empty. When we're talking about moisturizers, I did a reverse Uno, guys. Now you know how people always say that you don't really need an eye cream because it's basically a glorified moisturizer, and I have a lot of eye creams, okay? So I thought, you know what if I use my eye creams as my night creams because they're glorified moisturizers? And that's how I was able to finish this one up honestly really quickly, because there wasn't a lot of product in here when you consider this as a face moisturizer. It has a lot of product when you consider it only for the under eyes. Now this had a thicker gel moussey consistency in there, and it worked beautifully as a night cream. And I'm aging, okay? I'm gonna touch 30. I'm 29 and a half. I'm gonna touch 30 in January. So I need all of these things right here that are gonna be advanced night repair and things that are gonna like anti-age or whatever. Like, I'm not against aging. I feel like that's very natural, having lines and all of that. But if I can delay it, I would. And this has no fragrance in there. So yeah, if you have a lot of eye creams lying around and you're just done with them, or you're not using them because it feels a little too tedious, use them as face moisturizers, use them as nighttime mask, and all of the wrinkles that it's supposed to target here would also be targeted around here or anywhere else you have sagging skin. So that's a pro tip that I have for you guys right there. Then I finished my Simple Replenishing Rich Moisturizer. I had a lot of usage on this one. Again, I've talked about this one. I finished so many bottles of this as well. I love Simple. I love their skincare. It's basic, it's good, it works. That's what I want from a skincare, and it's affordable. That's another thing I want from my skincare. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But yeah, this is great for sensitive skin, all skin types, honestly, especially if you have dry skin or if you sleep in AC. Use it as a night cream if you don't want to buy a separate night cream. You know, sometimes night creams are priced heavier only because they're night creams and nothing else. Like, you know, the markup is because of the night cream. So if you want a nice night cream but you don't want to spend a crazy bomb ass amount of money on it, get the replenishing moisturizer. It's gonna keep your skin supple and hydrated throughout the night. The last moisturizer that I finished up, I basically used it like a primer, is Charlotte Tilbury's Magic Cream. Charlotte, darling, Charlotte Tilbury in the house. Now, I wanted to go gaga over it, I'm not gonna lie, because the amount of people that go gaga over it, like, this is magic cream. I just felt like it's a moisturizer. Like, I don't know what I was expecting from it, but it was just a great moisturizer underneath makeup. That's all, okay? And there are so many moisturizers that work great underneath makeup. You don't want to go for too gel-based consistency because that can pill up, and this doesn't have gel in there. It's like a moisturizing cream. So I know that there would be ingredients in here that are like great for your skin, but I don't know. I didn't really feel that this requires the amount of price that you're paying for it to be really there. I have one lip balm and then some makeup empties for you to finish this video off. And the only reason I only have one lip balm is because, again, I'm on the cusp of emptying out a lot of different lip balms. I have a lip balm in every room, in my car, in my bag. So obviously the usage is kind of divided. I'm not focusing on just one lip balm at a time. But one lip balm that I was able to finish up comes from Clinique. This is their Goji Berry Moisture Surge Pop Triple Lip Balm. Basically, it had 3 layers, and I've completely scooped everything out from the depth of this lipstick packaging, lip balm packaging, so you can't really see it. It had 3 cores, so there was a color core in between and then like a moisturizing core on the outside, and I used it while I was going to work out because it did add a little bit of color, but I don't want to apply like a full-on lipstick or a lip gloss when I'm working out. I just want like a nice lip balm just to make sure I don't feel dry and parched on the lips. So this was a great option because it added just the tiniest amount of color, just something that I needed to look alive at like 5 a.m. in the morning. So that's the way I used it up, and it took me quite a good amount of time, even though there's not a lot of product in there, but because of how densely it's packed, it took me a while in finishing this one up. I felt it was an okay lip balm when it comes to the moisturizing part. It wasn't my most favorite for the moisturization, so I wouldn't really be like, you need to have this in your life. There are a lot of other tinted lip balms that you can get for the purpose that I used it for, so I'm gonna just say that. And now for the final category of this video, I have some makeup products for you guys. The first thing I have is this one size setting powder. Now this is not their mini and this is not not their full size. I think this is their travel size, and I freaking loved every minute of using this one up. Now, this is not an older product in my vanity, so that's again a testament of how much I enjoyed using this, because I have so many powders, and emptying powders for me is a task. I'm a dry skin girl. I only set my under eyes and around my mouth area, so me finishing up a powder so quickly says a lot, trust me, because this mattifies you down without making you dry. There's a difference between looking dry and looking matte, and this mattifies you down. It's super finely milled and just smoothens out your skin so much. I loved using this. I think I will pick up another one of this up once I finish a couple of more powders. I already have a lot of them, so I don't really need a backup right now, but once I'm done with a couple of my powders, I'll definitely pick this one up. A beautiful powder. Then I finished another one of my MAC Fix Plus. I finished so many of these up in the past. I've lost track, I've lost count. I love Fix Plus. It's one of my most favorite setting sprays, fixing sprays. I finished their full size, their minis, their limited editions and whatnot. It's a beautiful setting spray, and they have tweaked up the packaging ever since the print has changed, so now it's not even splotchy once you're spraying this down. They had that issue in the past, but now they no longer have it, which is absolutely amazing. I'm on this journey of using more of travel sizes and minis right now, because even though they're small, they do end up taking space in your vanity. So I want to make sure I move them out first, because they're easier to use, even though they will still take time. This one size took a lot of time, and so did this Fix Plus. It's not like you can use it in like 1 or 2 goes. They're not that tiny, but still they're gonna be easier than the full size is what I'm trying to say. So I finished that one up. The second last empty I have for you guys comes from PAC. This is my lash fixer. Lash glues are something I go through regularly. Again, it's not like a quicker empty, it's just something I use periodically, cyclically, like it just keeps on happening. This is something I will use every single time I'm putting my lash on, and I put lashes on about 90% times I'm doing makeup, because I love lashes so much. So this is a nice lash glue. You can definitely go for it. Miss Claire has one, PAC has one, and all of them I think has the same China manufacturer, so they're going to be pretty much same. So depending on whatever budget you have, you can pick one of these up. And now for the last and final empty. This is pretty exciting, slightly sad as well, but exciting. I have my Danessa Myricks Pixie Dust. Basically this was like a semi-solid eye glitter, like eye flakes, and I love this so much. I used it so much. I literally have a full-on reel just on this one, how much I loved it. Now I did use a lot of this up. I used it as a pop-off glitter in a lot of my makeup looks, even here on YouTube, so I know that I have used it. However, I feel like some of this did also dry down in the packaging. Hopefully you can see that, like there is a little bit of dryness going on there, but I have absolutely zero regrets with that, because I know I did use so much of it up. Like this part I no longer can use, like it doesn't pick up anymore. So yeah, I don't want to like revive it and all of that, because there's no point. It loses its original texture and all of that once you revive stuff. The only revivable things I feel like are gel liners, because those, like the base is fine, and even for that you need like an Inglot Duraline kind of product. So I'm not going to be reviving this one. I'm going to call it a day. It was a beautiful product. I would highly recommend this one, but I would also suggest that you use it like relatively quickly, not quickly, but you know that you're going to use it frequently enough for it to not dry down on you. Love this one so much. Again, highly recommend if you're a glitter person just like me. I love glitters. That's all I can say. I freaking love glitters. But yes, with that, I finish my empties video. Those were all of the empties I had for you guys. Let me know, what did you empty out this month, and what do you plan to empty out for the next month? For the next month, I plan to empty out a lot of makeup. I have a lot of makeup that's just waiting to be finished, because they have like 1 or 2 uses left. So you're going to see a lot of makeup empties next month. That's a promise from my side. Fingers crossed I'm able to keep that promise. But that's going to be it from my side. I hope you guys enjoyed this and found this video helpful. If you did, then don't forget to comment and subscribe. It would mean the absolute world to me. I'll see you guys next time. Till then, take care. I love you all so much. Mwah. Bye.